Okay, so as you're watching this video, I want you to either mentally raise your hand, or you can actually raise your hand if you're in the comfort of your own home and you feel like doing that. Okay. Are any of you a part of a Greek organization here at Baylor University? It's me scanning the crowd. Okay, now you can put your hands down. Are any of you part of a church body here in Waco? Okay. Are any of you part of a sports team here at Baylor? And are any of you an avid sports fan for one team in particular? So like just the Dallas Cowboys or just the Chicago Bears? Congratulations! All of you are part of a cult. Okay, not actually, but a cult is described by the Merriam-Webster Dictionary as a great interest in a person, a movement, an idea, or an actual figure, object. A great devotion to such an object, if you will. A lot of times the word cult has a negative religious connotation alongside the word. But we know about this firsthand because they're everywhere. They're more common than we think they are. Here in Waco, we had a cult right beneath us. In the 1990s, there was a cult called the Branch Davidians, led by David Koresh. With this man, over 70 men, women, and children died by his hands. Not actually. The FBI had a lot to do with it too, but do that research on your own time. Sadly enough, all of this large casualty happened because they followed a charismatic man into the end of their lives. He claimed he was Jesus Christ reincarnate. Now I know what you're thinking. I am not silly or dumb enough to get myself involved in something like that. But actually, it happens a lot faster and a lot more common than you think it does. Students from the ages of 16 to 23 have a higher propensity to joining cults. Why is that so, you ask? Because we're vulnerable, we're impressionable. And of course, if a man or woman comes up to us and says, I have the answers to all of life's greatest questions, who wouldn't want to follow them? It makes a lot of sense. Now, nobody wakes up and says, hey, today I'm going to join a cult. Back up though. It is intrinsically part of our DNA to want to belong to something bigger than ourselves. Hence the reason for religion and other things such as that. But it doesn't happen, joining a cult doesn't happen quite as often or quite as quick as you might think. It does happen often enough, but I meant that it doesn't happen as quick enough. Okay, so what happens is when you join a cult, it's a systematic recruitment, meaning that it is by somebody that you're close with, like a friend or a neighbor or a classmate or a coworker. It happens because they are part of it as well. And you think, hey, they're a cool person, and this guy that they seem to know knows a lot of what he's talking about. Dr. Hassan from Psychology Today says that there are some red flags that we need to look for when people that are susceptible to such cult activity, such as learning and reading disabilities. Oftentimes, a lot of people that are part of cults have past trauma and really traumatic experiences that they're trying to survive from. Also, drug addicts and alcoholics. These people have an addictive personality and they're looking for somewhere to belong that is either helpful or accepting of such a problem. Now, there's modern red flags to look for as well. Our pandemic that we just surpassed, COVID-19, left a lot of people in isolation and they're really by themselves. So a lot of people are lonely. That also means that we're spending an increased amount of time online, and economic instability has a big thing to do with it as well. A lot of people are not sure where their next paycheck is going to come from, or they're not sure really when they're going to see the next person. So imagine that they see this video online of this woman and she's a self-care guru and she's talking about she has the answers to happiness and to taking care of yourself exponentially. Of course people want to be a part of that. Of course people want somewhere to belong, especially when we're so isolated. It looks good from the outside and these leaders are charismatic and they're narcissistic and welcoming. But actually behind closed doors, these leaders are using powerful methods of force and wealth and power, and their tactics are usually used to achieve their personal goals, which have nothing to do with the good of the people. They want willing slaves and willing people that are there to do their bidding, not there to actually further any form of kingdom or any form of religion, nothing along those lines. The fact is that we all need to start looking out for each other. COVID really left us isolated, but also we're all young. Everybody in here in this class is probably between the ages of 16 and 23. If your friend has a friend that is a little bit too friendly with somebody that is charismatic, maybe they're grooming them to be part of a cult. You never know. Check on people, because cults are a lot closer than you think they are.